Hi, I'm Adam. You're watching Imagine TV Network. It's an interesting story because my father was an engineer. He's an engineer, and he was the inspiration for me to sit down and start to play the piano. And at the very first time, he improvised on Joplin's ragtime. So we had this ragtime music in the house all the time. And of course, he put on some Beatles vinyls and Rolling Stones and all those, his music, his generation's music. So what I did is basically I sat down and I started to learn to play the piano with those pieces. So I played by ears those music. I'm interested in so many things, so many different things. I'm interested in photography and cinematography and computers and running, biking, playing soccer and doing so many things. And I think, as I said before, the balance is the most important. So to really achieve complete dedication in your life in something, in a particular thing, you need to be also you need to be dedicated, but you need to be balanced as well. So for me, it was very important to do other things as well. Playing soccer, as you said, running. I love race biking. I love bikes and do mountain biking and I do a lot of sports and I think it helps me to keep me grounded and to keep me balanced. It's very important for me. I'm a very lucky person to be able to do whatever I love to do and I love playing the piano and meeting people and being around people and play music and share music with everyone. So I think that's the most important thing. It's very, I guess it's very different comparing to 10 years ago as well. It's very different every day. The most important thing is not to find a balance in your life. You can stretch certain things. You can do really hard practicing for a certain amount of time, a couple of weeks and a couple of months, and it always going to kick back on the other hand. It is always going to you need to rest then. It's always a fine balance what you need to find. And for me, the most important thing was to be focused when I go to the piano and when I really approach the piano. And if I was not focused, I just went away. I went to the piano, I opened the piano, and I wanted to start to play, but I didn't feel it. I remember today is not my day, and then I just closed it down and I went away. I came back another time and I opened it again and I started to play, and I started to be inspired and to be into it. And this is very, very important. It's fundamental because later on you develop a reflex. You develop an automatic reflex to be inspired when you get close to the instrument. It's a wonderful feeling. So this goes back and forth. It's another interesting story because for me, drawing was always about connecting the one who I draw to. So, for example, my father asked me to draw a house, and I drew a house, and the house was upside down to me, but he was sitting opposite me, so he saw it in a perfect way. So the reason why I draw it upside down is that he sees right side up. And later on, I just felt that playing music was the same thing for me, to share music with the audience and to share my art with the audience and with other people. I think it's very important that we play to the audience. We don't play to ourselves. A key element of playing music and to connect to the audience is to play for them and not to yourself. And I think drawing the house upside down, projecting it to the person who really watches it and interested in it, and playing music to the audience, they are two very similar concepts. It was a major change because I had a wonderful, wonderful teacher, Katalin Halmágyi. She was one of our icons from Hungary. She's a wonderful teacher and also a very close friend of mine. I'm privileged to be, to feel her in the family of mine and to be in her family. I pretty much learned almost everything from her. She's a great, great musician, and she knows a lot about technique. And her husband was István Antal, who was, at some time, he was at the chairman of the Warsaw Chopin competition. So she's coming from a great European piano tradition, a great European piano culture. So it was a lot of new things for me, and we spent pretty much good 6 years together at the Béla Bartók Conservatory. And still, of course, I go back to her and I listen to her advices, because it's very important to have your mentors and to have your people who listen to you and you listen to them. I'm from a very small, you know, city in Hungary. I came from a small city, and you know, I partly live in New York now, and in the States, United States, and it's an incredible journey. And I think the most important thing is you never forget where you come from, and you always know what it took you to, you know, to move forward, and to be grounded, and to be, you know, happy in your life. And I think at some point we are responsible for our own happiness as well. So we need to know where we come from, and where we would like to go, and that's the most important thing for me.